Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jardon. I am a hypnotherapist, Reiki master, crystal healer, and I am also a generational pendulum healer. Today we're going to be doing the hypnosis for the forgiveness healing. And so I guess before I get into it, just I don't know, people who do hypnosis don't resonate with like the Reiki and the crystal healing sometimes. So if you don't, I understand. And if you do, great. I'm going to say something, and I feel like it's an unpopular opinion. When you forgive, you're forgiving yourself, right? Whether you were a minor and you're forgiving, yourself for holding on to that hurt and, forgiving yourself for carrying it with you. Or if you are an adult, you forgive yourself for staying in that situation, right? A lot of people in like the more spiritual community will say, send love and light. And I'm not doing it. I've given that person enough of my energy, right? I've given that person chances because I know me. Some of you may resonate with that, some of you may not. With that being said, I feel like people will not change. People will not, become self aware until they sit in their energy. And so I generally advise not to send love and light. Like, you can sit there and, wish that they have a lovely life and release them type thing, as opposed to like, oh, I hope they heal, like that's you putting that energy into them that they've already taken from you, if that makes sense. So that being said, go ahead and get comfortable, relax it, or in a relaxed place, usually, laying down, reclining, great place to be. And then either get a cold glass of water to help you kind of like wake up and stuff. Set that beside you, or you can go put your hands under cold running water to kind of ground you and like get you back to normal. But please wait 20-ish minutes until you kind of come out of hypnosis, and then you're back to, normal brain waves before you operate heavy machinery, drive a car. Please do not listen to this in your car. Please do not, especially in the front seat of your car, in the driver's seat. You don't want to associate hypnosis with somewhere that's not safe for you to be. Because there is such thing as natural hypnosis that you will slip into, and sometimes that can be an issue. So just find a safe place, get comfortable, and I will be right back. Okay, just relaxing, getting into a comfortable position. I want you to go ahead and find a spot on the wall at about a 45-degree angle. So you're going to look straight ahead, tilt your eyes up about 45 degrees, find a spot that is recognizable to you so that you can return to it. And we're going to go ahead and count down to 50. Count down from 50, sorry. So just finding that spot, focusing on it. I want you to go ahead and take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. This last one we're going to hold, so in through your nose, deep, 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 all the way to you can't take anything else in. Hold, hold, hold. And then push it all the way out of your mouth, releasing everything, tension, stress in your body, all the way until you can't let any more out. And staying focused on that spot, every time I say an even number, please have your eyes open. And every time I say an odd number, we're going to close your eyes. Well, you'll close your eyes. So starting with 50, eyes open. 49, eyes closed. 48, open. 47, closed. 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. If at any time you do want to keep your eyes shut, you can always just leave them shut. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Eyes should be closed. And with your eyes closed, imagine yourself standing at the top of a beautiful staircase, whatever that looks like for you. It's well lit and has a sturdy handle. It's safe. And as you look below yourself from that top tread on that landing, you see 20 stairs. Taking it all in, we're going to step down with our left foot starting at 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, allowing yourself to sink deeper with 6, relaxing even more at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 with deep sleep. Deep, deep sleep. And as you reach the bottom, you find yourself standing at the edge of a quiet river path. Tall trees swaying gently overhead, their leaves shifting softly in the breeze, while warm sunlight filters through the branches in scattered patterns across the ground. The air feels calm here, fresh and peaceful. And beside you, a slow moving river flows steadily forward. Clear water naturally moving around stones and curves, never forcing, never resisting, simply continuing. And as you begin walking beside the river, you begin to notice there are things within you still waiting to be released. Not because you were wrong for feeling them, not because what happened didn't matter, but because some parts of you may be ready to stop carrying the emotional weight so tightly. And as you continue along the path, you begin to understand something important. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is not excusing, and it is not allowing harm. Forgiveness is simply releasing yourself from remaining emotionally bound pain that no longer needs to control your inner world. And perhaps there are moments, memories, or emotions that your mind has held on to for protection. Yet now, another possibility begins to emerge. What if peace becomes more important than continuing to carry the hurt? As you walk further beside the river, you notice how naturally the water moves. It does not cling to what it passes. It does not fight every stone in its path. It simply flows around them, continuing forward with quiet certainty. And perhaps part of you begins learning from that now. You may notice leaves drifting along the water's surface, small branches carried gently downstream, the river holding them briefly before letting them continue onward. And somewhere within, you may begin to recognize emotions, resentments, old pains that no longer need to remain held so tightly within you. And ahead, you notice a smooth stone resting near the riverbank. When you pick it up, you may naturally allow it to represent something you are ready to loosen your grip on. Not forcing release, not pretending that something never happened, simply acknowledging, I no longer need to carry this in the same way. As you hold the stone in your hands, you may notice how much energy it takes to continuously hold emotional pain. And when you're ready, you gently place the stone into the flowing river, watching the river water receive it, surround it, carry the ripples outward, until the surface becomes calm once again. And perhaps your body already begins understanding what your mind is still learning. That release does not make you weak. Sometimes release is what allows healing to begin. And as you continue walking beside the river, you may notice additional stones along the path. Some heavier, some lighter, some connected to others. And naturally, you may release as many as you are ready to today. Old disappointment, lingering anger, self-blame, regret, pain connected to others, or pain connected to yourself. One by one, allowing the river to carry away what no longer needs to remain attached to you. And with every release, you may notice something softening within you. You're breathing easier, your chest lighter, your thoughts quieter, not empty, but calmer, steadier, more peaceful. And perhaps you begin realizing forgiveness was never about giving your power away. It was about reclaiming your peace. Eventually, the trees begin to open around you, revealing a peaceful clearing beside the river. The sunlight here feels warmer, the air softer, and the water beside you has become incredibly clear, reflecting the sky above like glass. And as you sit beside the river now, simply observing the calmness, and perhaps for the first time in a long time, your inner world feels less crowded. Not because everything disappeared instantly, but because you no longer feel responsible for carrying every emotional wound forever. And as you sit here, you may begin feeling compassion emerging naturally. Not forced compassion, not performative forgiveness, simply understanding you deserve peace too. And as you rest beside this calm river, you may choose to gently place one hand over your heart while the other rests softly over it. Feeling the warmth of your own hands, feeling your breath beneath them. And as you do, you connect to this gesture, to this feeling of release, peace, emotional freedom, compassion towards yourself. And any time you place your hands here in the future, you may naturally reconnect with this steadiness, this softness, this ability to release what no longer serves your well-being. Effortlessly, naturally. And before you prepare to leave this place, you take one final look at the flowing river, watching how effortlessly it continues forward. And perhaps part of you understands now that life was never meant to remain emotionally frozen. Healing moves, growth moves, and you are allowed to move forward too. Not because the past didn't matter, but because your peace mattered now as well. And you may carry this understanding with you as you prepare to return, lighter, clearer, and more connected to yourself than before. So, with 0, we'll close the door to the subconscious, blocking all negatives. 1, 2, aware of the place you're in and the space you occupy. 3, 4, eyes beginning to open. And 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. And because I forgot, Shadow to Light Work, an intentional journey of healing, self-discovery, and purpose is my book. Link will be in the description. If you're interested in personal sessions, ask2hypnotherapy.com. And I shall see you next week. Bye.